Rory, as a makeup, hair and makeup has been talked about a lot because people are concerned about how do you maintain social distancing while applying makeup. Including in our list are things that we found in the research, including wearing PPE, and a mask and shield while applying makeup, disposable makeup kits and brushes, possibly assigning brushes and combs to each actor so there's no cross-contamination. The work that you do for video and print, talk about how you see your new standard operating procedures.
Well, thanks for asking me to be a part of this, and I'm honored to be a longtime member of Film Florida. Your question is multifaceted. As a global makeup artist and longtime member of television and film production sets, with various networks and film shoots and catalog and print and commercial, it's a different ball game. I find working on TV and film production sets, although in my opinion, the number one priority that crosses over every area of the multimedia facet that I work with is the emotional comfort level of the person that's in our makeup chair. The emotional comfort of knowing that that person is in an oasis, so to speak. In the makeup studio, it's very important, I feel, that we're service oriented and that we accommodate the person in the chair so that they feel a comfort level because they're establishing their countenance and establishing their mindset for going in front of the camera. So we have one aspect of dealing with the emotional comfort. Another aspect is dealing with proper sanitary procedure. In going through various certifications in this past couple of weeks, wearing a mask and wearing a face shield is definitely, for me, not that it's mandated, but it's something for me that I will, progress forward going back into the public. It's tough. It's almost a feeling of anxiety because I see how some production sets and how some film studios operate, and we're working in crowds and we're working sometimes in non-ventilated, dusty areas. We're working, and I love the fast pace of TV and film production and commercial. I think it's so awesome, at the end of the day to say, oh yeah, we got 20, talent in and out of the makeup studio in record time. But, I'm wondering how that's going to shift and change. Because if you're looking at from a production standpoint, from a line producer standpoint, manner to use separate tools and brushes and makeup for each individual person, are we, and we have to look at this individually, but are we going to be scaling back on the number of actors or talent that's going to go through the makeup process? If we're asking them to, for example, come with their own makeup brushes and product or come makeup ready, if I asked 5 women what makeup ready means to them, I will get 5 separate answers. Because for each person, it's different. And even the products that a person uses on a day-to-day basis is entirely different from a product and a look that needs to be achieved for TV and film and high definition. And now we're going into, and I'm not a camera person, but the 4K and the Alexa and all of the other finite ways of shooting. Everyday makeup and someone showing up makeup ready, they're still going to need to come through the makeup room, in my opinion, to be camera ready. And the same thing with the hair department. So we're looking at the extra expense. We're looking at the extra option of disposable product kits. So where does that budget come from? Does it come from, our company budget, or does it come from production? Or is it, when we work with A-listers and we work with actors, sometimes there are writers and sometimes we have the option of product placement sponsorship. but that's not always the case on a day-to-day. So each thing is going to be I think is going to have to be handled in an individual manner. Now, we do have the option of virtual preparation. Like if there's pre-production, then possibly there's time for virtual preparation. Like if we know who's going to be on camera, do we have time to, connect with them virtually and take a look at what their, product kit and their tools look like, and prep them somewhat so that we can prepare before going to set with the ancillary products and items that would be needed to supplement, to complete their look. So that's an option as well. I think our main concern with breaking the chain of this pandemic and breaking the chain of infection in general, being licensed and being certified, the main concern is protection and covering from, and I don't know, I'm not a medical person, but the whole respiratory area, covering the nose, covering the mouth, those areas, for me, I feel like I will definitely make it a point to use disposable items to protect the person and to avoid cross-contamination. I don't have a big concern about cross-contamination because I've always been pretty much germophobic, and I can speak for myself and my team and some of the other industry professionals that I associate with. We're very strict and with the guidelines of making sure that we're sanitizing our products and sanitizing our tools. But we're dealing with, and I've heard it several times, we're dealing with uncharted territory, because then you have to think about, from a production and from a director standpoint, what if someone does wind up in the makeup room and they are sick? Then how do we handle that? I mean, do we shut down production? Do we have the right of refusal? I'm a very service oriented and a servant spirit, and I would never want, it might not be to the standard that we need it for a completed project. And then you're also dealing with a time factor. So we're dealing with the emotional safety, the health and safety, the expense, and of course time, and time is money. And so if the expectation is to get someone ready and to have them in front of the camera in an hour, so there's a lot of things that we have to take into consideration, but I think I've addressed all of the facets to your question.